Hi guys, this is Ankita. You are tuned into peepingmoon.com. Today we have with us Mr. Manoj Bajpayee and Sandeep sir who are going to present us with Bhosle, and we're going to talk a little bit about the film and what went behind the making of it. I'll start with you, Sandeep sir. It took pretty long to bring it to cinema halls, considering that films like such, I happened to see it last night. I wonder why some good cinema always takes a little too long to reach the cinema halls.
Right. You see why it takes long because good cinema producers like us and everybody who's involved in making good cinema wants to reach to higher or larger audience through festivals all across the world. Right. Like we finished this film in 2018, and we took almost a year from after the production was over, and we took it from all festivals, Mami, Busan, Glasgow, all across Canada, all across the world. So that process normally takes a year because some festival in January, some in November. So we have to complete the entire 1 year of circuit, and we got a tremendous response. So and films like this, which is highly content and based on your USP of this film is a story and only story. So we wanted to reach to a higher audience so that we get a word of mouth. And because this is not a big film, so whenever you make films like this, which is high on content, you need to have a larger number of audience. So to have that, you need to go to festivals, and if the response is good, then you need to go to another festival. So that complete cycle takes a year. So that is why a good cinema takes at least 1.5 to 2 years.
Um, Manoj sir, I have to say this to you. 10 lines. It was the mere pursuing of lips, and it was. I won't even say that it was the eyes which were doing the talking this time, unlike which we always say to you. I think it was your face, and under that grey mustache, deep beret, there was some beautiful performance we saw. Uh, how did you manage to pull this one off? Because this is not what you normally expect, even if you do a very internalized character or something which we say is more reserved and more performance oriented. This was a different kind of performance we saw altogether.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are things which are required for the character, and it is also defined and dictated by the genre of the script in the film. And also, there are things which ideas which come from the director, which kind of forces you to work on it more intensely, more deeply. So it's a result of all of that, you know. The eyes is one thing, but in the manner his face, you know, responds a little, you know, a small, movement of the face, small movement of the fingers, you know, the pace of the walk, you know, all of it. Uh, since it's a silent character, almost a silent character, you know, 16 or 17 words in the entire film, and which most of them are not audible actually. So you are actually, and that's very difficult. You know, internalizing to that extent is very difficult. Where sometimes you are doing it because the body of the character is taking you there. Sometimes you do it knowingly. You know, at times when we are rehearsing, I find something very new with the body, and I do it. And I feel that my character wants to go that side, and I keep flowing with it till my director says no, that's wrong, come back. So it's a journey which is into unknown, but there is a larger character is there, but we don't know whether you will be able to get it bang on, or you go beyond it, or you will be somewhere, you know, left on the short distance. So it's an amazing creative process to find the character,
So
and to
actually,
do it according to the genre.
yeah, because when I was watching it, there's this no spoilers, but there was this beautiful scene where we have this Ganpati being dressed for the ceremony to bring in, and you coming off with your uniform. The comparison is of life. If I have to sum it, it is so beautifully done, and I think it already gives you the base what we are going to expect. It's a layered thing. My question to you was, when we end up doing a character, when you end up doing a character, or when there is a character which has to be on the aged side of it. Does the internalization process is easy to do because of the era of experience you have in the work, or is it even more difficult because it's totally you? There is nothing else. There's no other canvas. There are no dialogues to help you. There is a, I would say, no loud political commentary to help, despite it has a very beautiful issue which is addressing. How do you then do you take it with you home, that kind of character, because it is so internalized?
You know, now I don't take it, but yes, when I'm going to the set and coming back from the location to my place, if I'm shooting in Bombay, it's playing in your mind. It's playing. You thinking about what you're going to do. You're thinking about what you have done that day. How good it was. Was it good? Was it questionable? Then you speak to your director when you are traveling back, and your director, kind of tells you that everything was just right, and all the questions and the queries and the nervousness about whether it was right or not, you will calm down by the director. So it's a long introspection, and that doesn't stop. That doesn't stop there. So whether you want it or you don't want it, the character goes with you. So what happens that when you start interacting with your family members, it goes in the back, but you are strange in such a way that you are focusing on your daughter at the same time you're thinking about the character. Both the channels are open, So we've gotten used to it, but it's a beautiful process. It's a process that I enjoy the most. I enjoy putting flesh and blood into the character. I just love it. That's something I'm addicted to, and something I'm in love with.
Sandeep, so you tell me, there's a political sentiment. There is a very strong issue of, I would say, not migrants might not be the correct word, but displacement. The sense of, if we talk about Mumbaikas, Biharis, there is a political undertone to the film. Is it difficult when we have such films in such intolerant times, to be very precise, to get them through cinema? And it is a wise decision to give it an OTT platform where at least people can view it without the entire entanglement of censorship per se, where you can put across what you want to put across, but not what exactly somebody wants to put across via that way to channelize the censors and the cuts. Is it a wise call?
So we wanted to do this film. We wanted to do a theatre release. We were done with the entire festive circle in November, December 2019, almost 6 months back. We planned this release in April. But then, if you see the film, it's not a political film. It's a story with a issue.
I just said, like, there's this undertone of it. It's not politically, but there's this slight undertone.
So we wanted to do a theatre because we were very confident, because it's an issue which is local. The problem is global. Whatever you see in India, you see that in US also, everywhere. It's like your next door neighbor from a different state. So we wanted to do theatre, and then the lockdown happened, and it's like blessing in disguise. So we thought, let's do an OTT. And I think OTT will also do a justice, is also doing a justice, in fact, because the higher number of audience will definitely see this film, for sure. And even if you would have released in theatre, it might have, you know the politics behind the theatre. Films like this, you may not get a good timing, you have to beg for timing, you have to beat after that. But then with this 26th of June this month, tomorrow it's going to release, you have an audience which is all over the world. So I think OTT, we are very comfortable. Now, as far as censorship is concerned, yes, we might have gone to a censor if you do it, but in OTT you don't need a censor.
That's quite liberating.
Yes, it's a
democratic field. It's a level playing field. It's a OTT platform is you are giving the censor Caesar to the parents.
Yes.
Okay. And you are letting them decide which film is right for the children, for the paper, and it's not that the OTT platform is a new thing. I mean, on YouTube, the contents of all kinds were available, okay, earlier. But if you censor, you go ahead and censor only film and other contents are freely,
Available.
moving in air, how does it, serve the purpose?
Injustice, I should say.
Yeah, because I remember Manoj sir sitting in a discussion which you conducted a year or two back, that how not so right it is that a director's vision has to be chopped by someone else who's not even aware of actual narrative. They are just seeing a film, but what exactly as an actor and a director is putting on film is totally different. And the vision which you guys have got, it's very difficult to make anyone else also understand why the scene is important, or why maybe that particular abuse makes sense in that particular scene, which suddenly has become, God knows, the entire issue.
Yeah,
So,
it's so unfair and it's so brutal. I would say it's ruthless. You're giving the Caesar to someone who has nothing to do with the film. And who is who doesn't who may not understand the narrative and the storytelling of this genre. Okay, so it's only a loss for the filmmaker. His vision, his creativity is chopped by the people who have nothing to do with it.
sir, allow me to ask.
Your morality is completely different from my morality.
I agree.
Morality is completely different from his morality. How we are going to decide? Who is going to decide? Who is the guardian of the society?
Sir, we can also then say that irrespective OTT or theatrical, which I think I've been talking to a couple of filmmakers, the one of the key reasons they want to move to OTT is they say, as even Sandeep sir mentioned, like this entire pressure of censor and putting out what not to. Will it be a more feasible way if even in films also we can let the films the way they are? Of course, you categorize them who can watch and cannot watch, maybe an age bracket. But the entire process of cutting down something, an abuse in English is far more comfortable than an abuse in Hindi. And an agenda which maybe is shown more in a glamorized manner is far okay if you show it on a ground root political Indian regional manner. Is it so?
I didn't get it. Just
No, I mean, no. In simple words, like, do you think we need to give away the censorship even for the theatrical part also? Because it is evident that if an abuse is in a Hindi language, censor suddenly raise eyebrows. And in a simple way, if an abuse is in English, it's perfectly fine. it's that.
I mean, see, so the censoring a film is not democratic. It doesn't go with the main elements of democracy. The freedom, the right to express, right to right to express, right to say, behave. It's all wrong. Somebody else is deciding what I have to say. Somebody else is deciding what I have to show. So this whole censorship, instead of that, you should go for under the parental guidance. It should be 18 above, 16 above, 13 above. This is the way they put those tags, and it's doing quite well. Even on OTT, the parents are deciding what content children are going to see.
Exactly. There are platforms which give you
the watching content.
Yeah, the platforms also now give you the option which can see and what age group can see and not see if you have the correct passwords in place.
Yeah. So it's a complete misconception and somewhere illusion that by censoring it you are doing a favor to the society. You are not doing anything.
They are doing their work.
You have to cut something. I mean, I'm a father, and I must tell you one thing, that more I tell my daughter not to touch something, she goes there and touches it.
We've all done that. You tell us how people do it.
So that it sums up the whole debate.
Sir, allow me to ask, and I will be fine if you don't answer. You recently stirred up a very strong debate in the industry, a comment which I personally feel was not derived due to a colleague's demise, but which you have already been stating. I think for the longest I have followed your career, for over 25 years, if I have seen the last 15 of it, that the insider versus outsider, the talent versus, I remember you told me once, the term superstar is something which is misconceived. It is actors. We are not talking about superstars. We're talking about the talent which comes, the talent which performs. It's about the artist. do you think that it's a very unfortunate way that suddenly everyone's moral conscience bell has rung because of a colleague's death? Isn't it an issue which should be not addressed but should have been dealt with pretty soon? Isn't it too late? Or sorry, I'm saying it's too late, but it's gone a bit too far.
First of all, I will not like to answer that question. I would like to.
Say that, sir.
I would like to, you know, take out the Sushant part and
Yeah, sir.
just
I totally
let him-
respect. I totally
let
respect that.
soul and his family be at peace.
Let that be at peace, sir.
As far as and I have been answering this, and I'm really tired, exhausted, and also we are doing promotion of Bhosle, so inevitably, and these questions are coming up, and I have to answer. So little bit, you can understand the exhaustion that I'm feeling asking these questions. I always feel that what is the use of a corporate house if it doesn't welcome the efficient and capable people in that building, in that company? What is the use? What is the use of a corporate house which doesn't give rise to the best performer? Okay, they give away these perks and the honor, they give away. Okay, but in our somewhere industry, I have said it. I've been saying it since a long time.
Exactly.
We have to do away with the small segments, small gangs, small lobbies, and make it a whole industry. Make it a whole industry where our focus is nothing but talent, whether it is coming from inside or coming from outside. If you are not focusing on the talent, you're only focusing on serving your interests and serving your interests, and through that you are pulling somebody down, backbiting about somebody, going for blind items, maligning somebody, and when you make it a click, and start stopping others, so that they don't become your competition, so that it only stays within the clique. I think you are doing complete injustice to the humanity. Just that step of yours, just that move of yours, harms so many people, so many talents.
Why I asked it also, like Sandeep, so because you are a producer out here, and we always say that producer gives the chance, you give artists the opportunity to come and shine on the fore. Do you think the responsibility also lies, apart from, of course, the peers, the back-end team, as I would say, like you, the directors, to push across talent, purely talent? And we're not talking about particularly A actor or B actor or a C actor. It all has to do about with the talent. As a producer, on this stature, do you think we have a remedy in place? We have a structure which can actually help us?
Actually, if you ask me, I don't see happening in the near future, maybe a little bit, but then as a producer, I always believe in content, and for me, performance is the top priority. It may be to a superstar, it may be to one of the best performers industry like Manoj. So for me, I need a talent, and talent can be anybody. It can be a son or a daughter of a superstar. It can be an independent person. It can be somebody from anywhere from India. But then, yes, you're right. If you can't give, if we need to respect the people. If you can't give the work, at least respect them. And all these films, if you have a star cast and in and around, if you have 5 actors, people don't talk about that 5 actors. They are equally important like a script, as a sub-star is casting support or a casting star is as important as a good actor. We don't talk about that people. We don't talk about that actor. We always talk about uski film dekhi. Look at his apps. Look at his followers. Look at his Twitter handle. That is what is disturbed. So, acting, like me working on other film, for me, if it suits, I may take a superstar. If it may not suit, I may take any good performer. Talent can be from anywhere, anybody from any place, any part of the world, any part of India. Anybody can have a talent. We should give talent a chance. Which is unfortunately, I'm not saying not happening.
Unfortunately, is not the case.
Yes, which is
Maybe, sir, I think as a media also on a ground level, we can start the practice, because I admit it, at least as a journalist, we can say when a film comes for us, it's a Manoj Bajpayee's film, but we forget that there are other actors and an ensemble cast which makes a film together. And we very conveniently, even I have realized when we practice it, we leave them a step behind. I think it's time that everyone needs to be collectively appreciated and given the due when it comes to giving out.
I personally make sure that I promote the co-actors of mine. I personally make sure that in any co-actor of mine who is done a remarkable job, that becomes my responsibility to go ahead and support them, promote them, encourage them. Also on the shoot, I'm as good as any other co-actor of mine. So my relationship with them goes a long way. If you ask me who are your co-actors, are you in touch with them? I'm still in touch with them. Who are my co-actors in shoot? I'm still in touch with them. So my relationship is happen on the set, and then it goes a long way from there. So if it was, I never considered it to be my film only. It was everyone's film. It is, and that gives me an opportunity to really mention Shita, who is playing Sita. You've seen the films. She's remarkable, wonderful.
Lovely.
Santosh Juvekar, who's played Vilas. I think he's a volcano, in the film. And there are so many others, Chitranjan Giri and all of those guys. They are so good. I was, sometime I used to be on the set, sitting on a chair in a corner, staying in the character and observing their shot. I used to be completely mesmerized and learn so much from these actors who are playing small parts, and they were all from theatre. All of them are theatre veterans. Okay, all the Chawl people that you get to see.
Okay.
Little boy comes from Patna. He also does theatre.
Oh.
So yes, yeah. So the casting is impeccable. I mean, you've seen the film. So
Yes,
you can always.
I loved it. That's why I brought it up. That I think it's time we need to start calling out actors who are there, but yes, we need to bring them out and make them shine as well. It's our responsibility also.
Yes, I think those are the people much more responsible than any other big star.
But the change has to start from the top also, right? It's like about going to a corporate as a producer, and first question they ask is, actor kaun hai, star kaun hai? That is very, very disturbing. And now they have realized, OTT coming in, they are the same people who are making a film for even 1 crore rupees. So they know the change has happened, but they are still not accepting it.
देखिए मैंने बहुत सारी मल्टी स्टार में काम किया है और इनको भी नहीं पता होगा कि बहुत सारी जगह पे हम लोग जाते थे प्रमोशन के लिए, तो मैं बाहर बैठा रहता था. No journalist used to ask for me. They only wanted the interviews of the stars. So I have been suffering it, and I have been voicing my grudges against this hierarchy. I don't know when it will go, but till it doesn't go, till I'm here, I'll keep showing, keep showing my discomfort with it. Let's see what happens. I never stop.
I think, sir, the change has started at least in last few months. If nothing else, this lockdown has given a new perspective. We've been talking to actors and people, irrespective who's billing the front. It's as simple as that. If it's a performance worth acknowledging. Yes, make an effort, because even if we also and you know, if we collectively won't make an effort, no one is going to recognize them. We have to.
I will tell you one thing. Don't spare your fraternity, because in Kolkata I was there for a big film. I was sitting on the podium with other stars. I was not asked one question by the media.
because
Right.
that's something, so we also have to work upon, because it's unfair if you sit with an actor, if you sit with a person and you don't pay the kind of, if nothing, respect to the craft. It's as simple. At least respect the craft. It's as simple as we've been taught.
On that note, let's
Thank
wrap
you.
it up.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a really
Thank you.
insightful one. All the best, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.